Oftentimes people will ask me like how I got into magic. And this is the little story I tell them, and it's true. I was at this fair with my cousins, and we would go every year. It was this little podunk fair, but it was the coolest fair on earth. And this particular year, we were walking past all the amazing food, and I walked right into the path of this giant man with this giant white beard. He was either Santa or a wizard at that point, right? And as your kid, I mean, either one was good. I mean, whatever, right? So, yeah, I walk right into the path of this wizard. And he looks at us, and it's almost like he knew that we knew, and he asked if we wanted to see a magic trick. Of course we did. So he had 2 coins, and he showed me this thing that I'll never forget. And he had coins like this. This is a $50. It's a US $50. This is actually a silver dollar. So on that side is an eagle, and on this side is Lady Liberty. And this is actually a weird kind of coin. And he had like a coin like this, but I think his was from India. But this is Queen Elizabeth on this side, and then on the other side here is that's Britannia, I think. So we had these 2 coins, and I want to be very fair about this. He asked me to hold my hand out, right? And he put them in my hand, right, like this. I don't want my hands to leave camera. And he told me that one of the coins was going to vanish, and I didn't believe him. But I played along, and when I opened my hand, one of the coins really did vanish. All that was left was a silver dollar. And that's a true story. And so today I want to talk about magic and stories. Now, keep in mind, we talked about the definition of magic before that I subscribe to. And that means that like a poet is a magician, and artists and photographers and all of these different people that use symbols in their work. So basically everyone. Anytime like art is powerful, it's magic. So I want to talk to you guys about a story that I found pretty haunting as a kid. And I want to see if we can somehow apply magic to it. Maybe we can use it in the story, maybe the feelings within the story itself, maybe the main point of the story. Any of these things are worth focusing on. And the goal is I want to see if we can find some way to embody something about that stood out to us in the story in our work. If you're a conjurer, maybe you can do a piece of magic with it. And I'll probably do a piece of magic next week showing you guys what I came up with around this idea. And to be fair, I haven't started anything yet. But if you're not a conjurer and you're watching this channel, maybe you can, but you do photography, maybe you can take a few shots that embody something that you felt about this story. If you're a poet, maybe you can write something about it. The idea is that maybe you can bring out a feeling that you got from the story or even the physical story itself and use it in some way in your work. So this is going to be kind of a short video. I think that we can get right to it. I'm going to share with you guys the story in kind of a cool little format, and then we'll just go for it. It was in the mid-90s, and it was after church at one of these church lunches. Someone at the church knew someone who was driving down Route 66. It was the middle of the night, and they saw a hitchhiker. And in the mid-90s, it's not uncommon to pick up a hitchhiker, so they did. The drive isn't anything out of the ordinary, and as they're driving, they're just having a nice conversation. At some point, the driver looks away, and it's at that moment that the hitchhiker says, "My mouth is near the trumpet." The driver's a little confused, so he looks back over at the hitchhiker, and the hitchhiker's completely gone. He's just vanished. The driver's very confused, and he pulls over on the side of the road, just bewildered, amazed, astonished, horrified, whatever you want to call it. It's not long after that a state trooper shows up, and he asks the driver what he's doing. The driver's still confused, and he says, "You wouldn't believe me if I told you." The state trooper seems a little amused and tells the driver to try him. So the driver tells the story. But this is where the story gets even weirder, because the state trooper at that moment looks like he's just seen a ghost. And he says, "You're not going to believe this, but you're the 5th person who's told me this." Cool, guys. So that was the story. I heard it twice, actually, 2 different times in my life, probably around a 5 or 6 year period. Both times I found the story like just haunting, right? Like as a kid, and you hear these adults talking about it, and they're all just enamored with the story. It kind of felt horrifying. There's just, at the time, I don't know, like this thing that's about to blow the trumpet. And as a kid, I was like, oh man, I just started living my life. But it's going to be a fun kind of a creative exercise. But again, if you're a musician, maybe you can write something around this, maybe the feeling or the mood or even the story itself. If you're a poet, same thing, photographer, whatever. And if you're a magician or a conjurer, I'd love to see what you come up with. I think the most evident thing could be something kind of similar to this coin vanish or a vanish of something that was just physically there a moment ago. But I don't know. I mean, maybe it doesn't have to go that far. Not that vanishing is bad, but there are other feelings or moods that we can kind of try to evoke as well. So yeah, and I might end up just doing a vanish too. I don't know. We'll see if time allows it. So yeah, guys, that's kind of it right now. So thank you guys for watching. I know this one was short, but I just want to get straight to the point. If you're watching and you do want to participate, maybe do Facebook or Twitter. Just do like a hashtag magic in stories. Hashtag magic in stories, and we'll take a look. And if maybe there are some, maybe there aren't, but either way, we'll take a look and see what we can get. Cool, guys. That's it for this week. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and let's get back to it.